I had gone into this boutique to get out of the rain. My French was terrible, I knew, but the older woman behind the counter just smiled and pointed to a rack of scarves. It stood out in white silk with little gold threads. It shimmered. I don't know why I picked it up to my neck, but when I tied it, a warm breeze curled around me, inside. What about the woman?
Not for you, mon cher,
she whispered, then winked. The moment I stepped out onto Rue Saint-Dominique, something felt off. Even in the mist, the Eiffel Tower still stood proud, but people were looking at me differently. I stopped and looked in a bakery window and was startled by my reflection. Soft cheekbones, longer lashes, full lips. I came in closer. I wasn't seeing my face. That was not a guy's body. I was a young woman.
I caught my voice in my throat. What the hell? It came out high except feminine, breathless. I turned around and stormed back towards the boutique, but it was locked. The inside, dark. No woman, no scarves. All that was staring back at me was just my own reflection, terrified and undeniably female. I breathed differently when I breathed, and my chest rose differently. My hips pinched my jeans and my t-shirt stretched tighter across my curves that I never had before. I gasped, tender. Warm, my body responded in ways I didn't know how. Exposed, I felt. I had no idea what to do, so I texted Ethan, my roommate from the trip. Emergency! Meet me behind the cafe near the Seine. I couldn't just say, "Hey, I've become a girl, save me." I sat on a bench, wrapped my arms around myself, felt small and soft, a feeling that terrified me and intrigued me at the same time. I thought on it. Was this curse a dream? Why did it feel so vivid?
I saw him, or rather her, sitting under the willow tree by the river. Her eyes were brown, wide with panic. Long chestnut hair, she waved. Trevor? My jaw slackened and I stuttered.
I need help.
She nodded fast.
I changed.
I was not believing it. The fear in her voice was real, though. You're not messing with me? She shook her head. Her hand was trembling as she pulled the white scarf from her neck.
It made it worse seeing Ethan's face drop. He was as confused as I was. My chest hurt, not physically, but in some place further down, where everything I thought I knew about myself started coming apart. I told him all of it. The scarf, the woman, the boutique which vanished. I expected to be laughed at, or to be told I was crazy, but instead, he listened. He thought I was telling the truth. "We'll get this sorted," he said. Could we? But with curtains drawn, I stayed in my hostel bed. I was unable to sleep. I moved differently in every part of my body. In the little vanity mirror, I caught my reflection, delicate jaw, rounder face. I touched my lips. They were full and real. I whispered to the girl in the mirror, "Who am I?" And she whispered it back to me. I welled up. I didn't know if I needed this reversed. Was I crazy? Or was this something I never admitted I wanted? I woke up in the morning and something inside me changed. I picked up Anna's lip gloss from her bag. We shared the top bunk instead of hiding. I rolled the pink shimmer over my lips. I trembled my hand. I fluttered my eyes. It was for the first time. I smiled. The smile of the girl looking back was too. She was beautiful, yes. She was scared. "Maybe I'm not just Trevor anymore," I whispered. My heart pounded. Text from Ethan was, "You okay?" I said, "Still me. I think, however, I want to try something," I said. I then wrote a name, Tess. It just fit. When I typed it, I felt this warm feeling blossom in my chest. The universe acknowledged it like it. The scarf had brought something in me that I had long buried. Something feminine, something real. I had walked the streets of Paris, heart pounding, hips going a little more in the sway than I wanted. This new me was reflected back at me in every shop window, every boutique. I bought a soft sundress, which was red-colored. I tried it on, and it molded to my curves as if it was made for me. I twirled, laughed. I felt alive. Paris seemed different. Neither was I. I asked Ethan to meet me again, but this time he should meet me in front of the carousel on the banks of the Seine. As he saw me in the dress, he stopped. He took me in with his eyes. I whispered, "Tess is what people now call me." He smiled gently and blinked.
Hi, Tess.
That small moment was the world beginning to tip towards the brighter I could exist like. He was not a freak, but new. Someone loved. I spoke out loud in that new voice that night. Not forced, just real. "Hello, I'm Tess." Again. "Hello, I am Tess." I was smiling and couldn't stop. Of course my voice had changed. My heart, however, my heart had always been waiting for this. Until the scarf unlocked it, I simply didn't know it. I also learned new routines, moisturizer, bra hooks, the sound of the skirt swishing. When I brushed my hair once, it giggled when it tickled my shoulders. I learned how my hips moved with intention. I learned to walk softly and speak sweetly. Above all, though, I learned how to listen to my body. She was a patient woman. She waited for me to catch up. I cried one afternoon sitting on the steps of Sacré-Cœur. It was not out of fear, from joy, from release, but no one stared, and strangers walked past. I wasn't ashamed about my tears. They were sacred. I whispered, "Thank you, Paris. You are quite welcome, scarf. Thank you, me, for finally letting the real girl inside be real." Anna noticed.
"You look different lately,"
she said with croissants. I twisted the spoon in my coffee and smiled. "I'm just feeling more like myself again, I guess." She turned her head.
"You look like someone that loves who they are."
I never said anything. I didn't need to do any of that. She looked back at me like she was proud. 2 days later, I passed another boutique, and there was that same white scarf hanging in the window. I went inside, but the woman was not there. Next to the scarf, there was a note. "Truth sets us free. Choose with your heart." I didn't purchase. I didn't have to. My heart had already been picked. Tess was no mistake. She was a beginning. That morning, I felt off, dizzy, lightheaded, satiety chest. Sitting on a fountain edge, I wondered if I had caught something. The woman handed me a box at the pharmacy. I took the test after I stared at it for 10 minutes. When it showed positive, I put my mouth. My hands shook out of fear. I wasn't only Tess. I was expecting. Now, my body was really fully hers, fully mine. I strolled along the Seine with hand on my belly. Again, tears came, but these were softer. I was not afraid. I was alive. A girl, a mother-to-be. I felt a kind of love I never knew in my heart. I was not a boy I used to be, so for the woman I'd become, and the little life growing inside. I recorded a message on my phone for the old me, Trevor. "You didn't get lost," I said in a whisper, "but you just had to find your way here. You got more than a new body from Paris. It provided you with your truth. The most beautiful mother is that truth." I stopped. I did not cry. I smiled. At the carousel, I saw Ethan waiting. Slowly, I walked up, hands still on my belly. His eyes were wide. He stood. "There's someone new coming to join us soon," I whispered.
Huh?
He flew his hands to his mouth. I let myself be held for the first time, not as Trevor, not as someone pretending, but as Tess, a woman, a mother, new me, in Paris.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe.